Hello and welcome back, scholars. Now we're going to explain three-digit numbers using hundreds, tens, and ones on a number line. We have the same mat or same chart. You can also call it a table. We have the same table here, but there are different numbers included. So this part has already been completed, so let's look at the next step. Now remember, on a number line, we're used to starting a number line with 0, but you don't always have to, and sometimes it's not necessary to include the numbers that are at the very beginning of the number line because it's not necessary for that particular problem. So if we look, we have 400 here, we have 500 here, we have a 300 there. The other ones are 400s. So we only need to include the 300, 400, and 500. In this case, maybe a 600. Let's look. Well, maybe we'll do that as well. So let's start with 300. And let's make sure it is spaced out well. So we'll end with 600. Okay. And then we have 400. We want to space it out pretty well. 400 and then 500. It might not be completely exact, but as close as possible is what you would like to try to do. All right, so we have our numbers here, and let's change the color. Okay. So now the first number we're representing is 372. There's only one number that's in the 300s. It has 300s. All right, so 372. Remember, we always want to have our benchmark. Halfway between 300 and 400 is 350. So that's our benchmark. It helps us to know where to place the number. So we know that if 350 has 5 tens and 372 has 7 tens, that has more tens and therefore is closer to 400. So we're going to put it right about, let's see, right about here, 372. Okay. All right, so that's the first number. We've completed that. All right, the next number, we're going into the 400s. 7, 7, 7, 8, 6. Okay, this one has the lowest amount of tens. And for the numbers that are in the 400s, that have 400s included. All right, so again, let's include our benchmark. So halfway between 400 and 500, just like this, would be 450. All right, and we're looking for 462. Again, this has 6 tens, this has 5 tens. So this is greater than 450, maybe closer to here, 462. So we've completed that number. All right, now let's look at 471 is the next number. Ooh, we got to make some more room. 462. Okay, make that a little bit smaller. 471. Ooh. How are we going to do this? Let's do an arrow up here. 471. And then 472. Let's make it a little bit lower. 472. 473. This is a tight squeeze. We're actually not going to be able to show all of it, but let's just show an example. This would be where 482, it would be closer to 500. Okay, so we somewhat represented 471, 472, 482. 473 is going to be right in there, but we have no more space. All right, and so our final number is 572. So we know that it is at least 500, but it is past 500 because there are 7 tens. Let's look at our benchmark. Halfway between 500 and 600 is 550. So 550 has 5 tens. 572 has 7 tens. So this number is larger or greater than 550. It would be closer to this section, 572. All right, so yes, we did not identify this number, but we know it's going to be right in here. So we're going to go ahead and check it off that we've identified it by pointing to where it would be located. So this is how you would represent three-digit numbers with 100 tens and ones on a number line. We're looking forward to seeing you do the same.